minutes, please, riders and chef to keep. 5 more minutes before we get underway. Allow me to introduce you to our brilliant ringmaster, Ronnie. He's in charge of keeping things moving this morning. Please work with him. Very nice guy, and he'll help you out as much as he can. But obviously, with the numbers to get through, we need your help as well. Underway in just under 5 minutes.
All these voices in my head get loud. I wish that I could shut them out. I'm sorry that I let you down. Let you down. Yeah. Don't talk down to me, that's not gonna work now. Packed all my clothes and I moved out. I don't even wanna go to your house. Every time I sit on that couch, I feel like you lecture me. Eventually, I bet that we could've made this work and probably would've figured things out. But I guess I'm a letdown, but it's cool, I checked out. Oh, you wanna be friends now? Okay, let's put my fake face on and pretend now. Sit around and talk about the good times. It didn't even happen. I mean, why are you laughing? Must've missed that joke, let me see if I can find a reaction. No, but at least you're happy.
Distance to our first track this morning, the FEI Everything Nations Cup Youth Juniors at 140, 79 seconds, 79 with a distance of 4.9, represented by our brilliant course design team of Messrs. Suarez, De Jong, Hendricks and Wanding.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, no. Yeah, I'm sorry that I let you down.
Thank you, Val, the Peace Digger Slaughter. Thank you, riders. The arena is now closed. Good luck to all, and here we go with the first get us underway.
Hello and welcome to the FEI Youth Nations Cup here in Belgium. Centaur Park not only played host to the first European leg of the Youth Nations Cup series, but it also presents the final instalment of this 2023 season. The first day of competition featuring the Nations Cup qualifier, with the juniors taking centre stage here this morning. 12 nations coming forward to contest over the track designed by Great Britain's Rafael Suarez, alongside that of the Netherlands, Marco de Jong and Rens Vundegem, but Hendricks also part of the team for Belgium. 12 nations in total, and it's Germany that have been in flying form in the 2023 season standings, but Ireland gets us underway with the best three scores that count in the team competition. Escola M, the ride for the first to come forward, is Owen Brennan that has the ride of this one. Tremendous success out in Gaulomanore in the Junior Europeans back in July, and was part of the winning team Gola in April on this FEI Youth Nations Cup. The first to go in Brennan, Ireland. Yeah, 79 seconds the time allowed in the first round of the Nations Cup qualifier. Owen Brennan gets off to a great start with a Escola B for Ireland. And don't forget, you can keep yourself up to date with all the scores as we see them here out in Belgium. You can find those on the Equipe website, online.equipe.com, so do take a look. Now to the next we go, from Ireland over to Switzerland. And it's Lou Pack that's up next. Lou Pack with Leave the Light On. Leave the Light On, the 9-year-old gelding, the Hanoverian. The first of the 4 riders for Switzerland. Let's take another quick look at this track. Great Britain, Rafael Suarez, that's the mastermind. 490 metres in total. The riders in this first run are expected to be running at a speed of 375 metres per minute. That's for the junior sections. The ponies and the children have a little bit of a slower target at 350. We'll get to that later on today. So it does mean a time allowed of 79 seconds. 12 fences, 15 jumping efforts with a double combination at 6AB, the treble at 9A, B and C. Come to that now. It's the 2 verticals through to the oxet, and then straight down the related distance to the vertical at 10. It is the 8 for jumping, the 1 for time picked up by Lupak. Lupak for Switzerland would leave the light on. The second of 48 riders to come forward for the team competition. The first of the qualifiers for the FEI Youth Nations Cup, the juniors. And over we go to Anna-Marie Vitek Blackjack. Can they go clear and put Czechoslovakia in a good position? Certainly had a great run down at London in the Longines Global Champions Tour in August. Picked up a great win in the CSI 2-Star Open, and further back sees them competing out on this Nations Cup series. Had a good run with us in Zidvold back in June. puts in a good performance there for Czechoslovakia. It is Anna-Marie Vitek and Blackjack Ikes. That's Stallion by Indoctre. So if we go to Belgium, it's the home nation here out at Centaur Park. Janne Jensegers and Orlando van der Afspanning. First of those riders for Belgium, and Belgium who've been having a really good run on this FEI Jumping Nations Cup. We look at the final standings for the juniors and see them in 4th position. Picked up their best run at Golo Minore in Italy back in April, had a top 2 result. Can they come in good form on the first of 4 days of competition out at Centaur Park? There's plenty to bring you today here. The first of the programmes, it is the juniors, but then later on this afternoon, later on this morning in fact, we'll be going over to the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth for the Ponies, and then rounding out day number 1 with the young riders around 1:30 this afternoon. So do make sure to join us for that. If you missed any of the action, you can of course watch it all back on demand. The Belgians Janne Jensegers and Orlando van der Afspanning to that treble combination at 9 ABC. So a time of 80.31, there's time penalties there, unfortunately, with the time allowed set at 79 seconds. Picks up a combination of jumping penalties as well. It is that of Belgium's Janne Jensegers and Orlando van der Afspanning. If we go next to Italy, the first of their 4 riders, and all 12 nations this morning presenting 4 riders. It's the best 3 scores that count. They'll be coming back to jump the final on the Sunday. Don't actually have to bring forward the same collection of riders. They'll be declaring those riders that they want to bring forward the night before. And they'll be starting on 0 when they come to that final on Sunday. The only exception to that being the ponies, because there's only 7 of those that start. We'll be getting round to that later on this morning. So it is, in fact, Italy, and Italy is Vittoria Scognamiglio and Corsto Wihros Z, the next to go, and the first for Italy. Time certainly okay there, 74.17. It is the 2 down, so pick up 8 jumping faults. Vittoria Scognamiglio and Corsto Wihros Z. From Italy we go to the Netherlands. On the topic of the Netherlands, what a run this team were having out in Zuidveld, the 8th of the 10 initial legs of those final standings. Certainly on that European stage. Timon Vos and I've Got the Key scored some nice rounds in Zuidveld, of course, in the Netherlands, and Golo Minore here on the Nations Cup Series. Golo Minore back in April. Since then have been jumping as part of Team Netherlands in Italy for the European competition, also back in July. It's been a busy few weeks and months for them as well, contesting in the 1 and 2 star classes in Exlu. Timon Vos and I've Got the Key rolling to the Oxer at 5. And then to the first of those combinations, the double at 6 AB down the long side, turning them right-handed through the grassy islands to the water at 7. Big push to that. They look to set up for the treble in just a moment. Been jumping smoothly so far, of course, Great Britain's Rafael Suarez, the course designer. Certainly providing a challenge. We've seen some going clear, we've seen quite a few combinations picking up jumping faults and time as well. They'll need to keep travelling. Looks to be okay here though for Thiemann Vos, and I've got the key down to the last. Stops the clock in 75 seconds exactly. It's clear for the Netherlands. It certainly puts them in a good position in terms of that team ranking. We'll have a much better picture of how that'll be looking for Team Netherlands in the next 30 to 40 minutes, because as more and more riders keep coming forward, we'll be able to look at their best potential result. Keep you updated with that. To Sweden then from the Netherlands, it's Zartasi, the ride for Liam Nilsson. Swedish warm blood by Connor 48 out of Roderick. This one bred by Anna Johnson Gutstrom. Martin Nilsson in the ownership position. Zartasi, Liam Nilsson for Sweden. Just rubs that rail at number 10, but it stays up and in the cups. One down already. It is the 4 for jumping. Will we get home with just the 4? Ah, there goes the vertical at the last as well. 74.27, the total of 8 there. Sweden's Liam Nilsson. And onwards we go. And we do so to Germany. Max Beschutz and Sem Samper. Semper FEI for the sire of this one. Sem Semper joins up forces with Max Pescher, the 11-year-old. And together as a partnership, they had a good finish at the Europeans, a top 6 finish in that final team classification back in July, and have been part of the Nations Cup team many a run. They jumped in Kronenberg at the end of last year, but in terms of the 2023 standings, so them over in France. Nice to have them out with us in Belgium. Germany's Max Beschutz and Sem Semper. Certainly in the early stages of the competition this morning, we've been seeing riders picking up jumping faults. The time has been quite influential as well. Keep a look on the screen, 79 seconds. That time allowed the distance set at 490 metres. Certainly seems that Max not wasting any time. As over the Oxer he goes at 8, that left-handed turn then to the treble. .76.23 in the last goes sadly puts 4 faults on the card of Germany's Max Beschutz and Sem Semper. But it's the USA that comes next here in the junior competition. Laurel Walker spent the early part of the year in the under-25 international classes in Florida and made a First Nations Cup debut at Wellington back in 2020. Was jumping in the children and horses section there, but making the transition to the junior ranks now. Certainly wish them well, Laurel Walker and Armani.
That's not Laurel Walker, that's Emma coming forward. Emma Pontang for Denmark. Ulrika is the chef de keep. Le Chance de Jade is the ride. Danish warm blood.
So it actually appears that Laura Walker not coming forward for the United States of America. It's Denmark's Emma Ponsang. La Chance de Jade, she rides. Away over the track of 12 fences and 15 jumping efforts. Denmark's Emma Ponsang, La Chance de Jade. The Dutch warm blood by Lord Ifshalus out of Corlando. So just resetting on the right-handed turn now to the water. Number 7 rolls down then to the Oxford 8. Sees a good shot to that. Appears to be okay for time. That's been quite influential this morning at 79 seconds. First part of the treble now. 2 verticals through to the Oxford, the 1 stride and out there. Then the Aloga auction vertical at 10. They've only got 2 more fences to go to the treble bar, and then the straight run down to fence number 12 to compete. Emma Ponsang, La Chance de Change, stop the clock in 74.13. And it is the 4 faults that get put up on the card. So now to Laura Walker and Armani. Introduced her just some moments ago before Denmark snuck in through the gate. We were saying that they'd had some great success in those under 25 classes in Florida. We saw them on their First Nations Cup debut, the children's back in 2020. But again, making the transition in good form. The first for the United States of America, Laura Walker with Armani. Just getting that fraction deep to the Oxer, and it puts 4 faults on the card. But seems to be attacking the treble in good form there. And again to the vertical, sets up nicely, just seems to be a little bit more cautious that time. So remains with those 4 jumping faults. The time seems to be okay with 10 seconds to get home now, just the 1 fence to go. 72.26, and it is those 4 faults. With that front rail of the Oxer at number 8 coming down. First for Great Britain now, it's Sophie Evans and CSIO Bell. Great Britain, who had a great run out in the Netherlands in June, picking up a nice win there. But Sophie Evans, who was a real force in the pony ranks of the sport, in fact, has had runs at the Nations Cup every year since 2021. In fact, gained a qualification for the Pony World Cup finals in Mechelen back in 2021, but a real shame to see that cancelled due to the coronavirus. The sport very much making a strong return now. Bronze medal winning team in Gorlamanore earlier on this year. Will the good form continue for Sophie Evans and CSIO Bell? Picks up that unlucky rail there. Putters come out and certainly looks impressive around the track. Sophie Evans, Yasiyo Bell, 71.79. And it is just the vertical at 10 that comes down for them. Sticking with the first of the riders, and it's over to Spain we go. Goher 27, the Belgium warm club, the Carlos Borg-Giron. First of those riders for Spain that's been certainly busy in the last few weeks and months with runs out in Germany in their international classes. A couple of top placings, top 10 in some of the one-star speed competitions. Carlos Borg-Giron and Goher 27 for Spain. '79, 74.97 in fact, and it is those 4 false islands. James Brennan comes next there with MHS I'm the One. Good to see that of Carlos Borg-Giron, and Goher 27. MHS I'm the One, Irish sports, the 9-year-old gelding. And James Brennan with the ride of this one, part of the team that medalled out in Gulamanore in July in the Junior European competition. Has had many a run out on this Nations Cup Series Youth, taking some good results in the European legs. And we're here at Centaur Park for the final. This was in fact the venue for the first of the European legs. Rafael Suarez, the course designer, also built here back at the start of the year. And this rider number 2 for Ireland. It was Owen Brennan that got us underway with the Scholar M at the start of the class. So on to the second of the 4 riders for each team. James Brennan, the second of those. Clear round number 2 it is for Ireland, 74.25. And you see on the screen now we're seeing those 2 clear rounds. Scholar M with Owen Brennan and James Brennan also going clear. James Kernan in the chef to keep position for Ireland puts them in a good position for the final. Remember, on Sunday they'll be coming back in reverse order of merit, and they'll be starting on 0 as well, so certainly all to play for. Margot Blanchard and a touch of a Royal Serrano, the partnership that come forward next for Switzerland. Had some good results over in France in Dunec just some time ago. Now good to see them out jumping in this Youth Nations Cup. The first of the riders for Switzerland picks up 9 faults. It was 8 for jumping and 1 for time. Margot Blanchard and a touch of Royal Serrano currently with the 4, just the 1 down at this stage. is the total of 8 there, 76-17. So it's a possible best finish score for Switzerland of 8 at the moment. Remember, it's those top 3 scores combined that makes the final team result. The one discarded score of Czechoslovakia now taking centre stage. The second rider for them, the first of those, though, Anna-Marie Vitek picked up those 4 jumping faults. Can Katarina Bubakova go clear with Ella? Certainly have been jumping nice clears, picking up placings in Brussels and Valkenswaard in the last couple of months in those Table A international competitions. This also a Table A, it's just the one round against the clock. Same format of the final on the Sunday as well, but some different formats to bring you throughout the week, with the Grand Prix being the one round and the jump off, the Challenge Cup as well to bring you. We'll be telling you all about that throughout the programme this morning. Katarina Bubakova, Ella, the second for Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic. Four it is in 76-17, Katarina Bubakova and Ella. You see on the screen there that both combinations for Czechoslovakia coming forward and picking up 4 jumping faults. That is their best finish score, with that discarded 4th score. We'll be seeing how they get on, follow their progress throughout the competition. Thede van der Kottemullen said, Paris van der Lucia. Is Belgium. 10 penalties picked up by the first of the 4 riders, Jana Jansegers and Orlando van der Aspening. They were the first of those 4 for Belgium. 8 for jumping, 2 for time. Paris now next up. And although not part of the Nations Cup team, had a good run here in Centaur back at the end of March and the start of April. Had some good finishes, especially in that of the accumulator as well, on the penultimate day of competition. Centaur not just the host of the final here, but they were also the host of the first of the European legs of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth. And it was Ireland that took the win here back in March. They're certainly on good form, the only combination, the only team on a clear at the moment. Germany will be hoping to mix things up a little bit, certainly at the top of the rankings for Europe. We'll be coming back to them in just a little while. Belgium's Paris van der Lucia on track and right-handed to that final line. 77.03 is the 4 faults for jumping. 79 seconds the time allowed in this qualifier, the first round of the junior category competition. And Italy's second rider next, Marco Begumi in that chef to keep position. Gila Gatti Badelli and Helos Quintos, the first of the 4 for Italy, picking up 8. Vittoria Scognagnillo, who jumped just a little while ago. Can Gili Badelli and Helos Quintos put a clear round on the board for Italy. Certainly looking good so far for Italy's Guilagatti Bardelli and Alos Quintos. Just the one fence to go, checking, just making that preparation. And they certainly do go clear, 75.90, and that puts Italy in a good position. With that discarded score, there's a best potential finish of a clear round, but there's two more combinations to go. They'll both have to go clear if you want to take the lead. So now we look to the Netherlands, the second of the rides, and this also a team on a clear at the moment with Thiemen Vos jumping a nice clear round to get us underway in this qualifier with I've Got the Key a little while ago. Emma Bokken is next though on Cadessa Z. There's Langenscheider mare by Cannon out of Harley VDL. Busy runs in the Dutch Grand Prix, had some great runs in Valkensvoorde and Kronenberg in the last couple of months, jumping the height of 1.40 m, 1.45 m. Certainly wanting to come out and attack the course this morning. 15 jumping efforts in total, the double combination at 6AB. They'll be heading to that in just a moment as they make that left-handed turn to the Oxer at 5. And now to that double. The Oxer to vertical and jumping in good form. .76.17 and clear for the Netherlands. It's Emma Bokken. Emma Bokken that does put them in a good position. Certainly does. Puts them into second place at the moment, behind that of Ireland. With the times going into that combined score as well. So let's take a look at the run at the moment. Ireland leading 2 clear rounds. The Netherlands goes in second. They've also got 2 clear rounds with Italy third. And the Czech Republic in fourth. We'll keep you updated with those top 3. You can find them online yourselves as well at online.akeep.com. But Ebba Danielsson and T. Gavoli Z forward now for Sweden. To the double at 6AB. And this is a horse rider pairing that were part of the European team for Sweden in Golomanore back in July. The final team classification finishing in the top 5. Will we get more good team results for Sweden here on the opening day? .73.32 and the last goes unfortunately the vertical at number 12 with the water trader. Ebba Danielsson and T. Gavoli Z. It is the total of 4.73.32. Eva Kunkel and DSP and Pawikapi. They're up next for Germany. The first of those 4 riders picking up 4 faults. Max Peschertz was the first of the German riders. 4 faults on that occasion, but could still see Germany finish on a clear, the best 3 scores combined. Eva Kunkel forward now. So with the one rail down and the 4 faults on the card, it means that there's a best potential finish for Germany of 4 faults in this qualifier for the Junior Nations Cup final. The final itself taking place on Sunday, so do make sure to tune in for that as we come to the treble. Clear A, clear B, and the Oxa at the C element. Then down to the Aloga auction vertical at 10. 2 fences to go for Eva Kunkel and DSP. Apo Wikapi. Ah, 8 it is, the vertical down at the last as well, 75.90. Not the first, and I imagine not the last to have that vertical down either. As we move back to the United States of America, the second of the junior riders. Laura Walker picked up 4 jumping faults. Had a good time though. Can that be replicated? Can the next go clear for the USA? Stephanie Garrett and Darius de Kezig-Zerd. Stephanie, who had a really good podium finish in the junior individual final at the North American Youth Championship this year. Since then has been contesting in the Grand Prix classes in Ottawa at the height of 1m40, 1m45. Stephanie Garrett, the second for the United States of America. Jumps really nicely for the United States of America. 75.39 and it's clear for Stephanie Garrett. Well, let's see how that shakes things up a little bit on the leaderboard for now. In fact, puts them into 3rd place, so the best of those 4 faulting scores. But only 2 of the 4 riders coming forward so far for the United States of America. Sophie Pugson, Radson and Cougar 14 forward next. Partnership for Denmark. The first of the 4 for Denmark, picking up 4 faults. Emma Ponsang was the first of those riders, and it's Ulrik Kjær who leads this team as the chef to keep. An early 4 faults on the course. They'll want to put that behind them though, regain the confidence and the composure. Another one down, unfortunately, too. Had an early 8 penalties on the course, but have gone on to jump a really nice round across this track of 15 jumping efforts. Good shot to the triple bar. Now just the one to go. It's the vertical to complete, and they do so at a time of 73.12. That means that Denmark's best potential finishing score, that of 4 faults. They've got 2 riders still to go. But back we go to Great Britain. 4 faults was picked up by Sophie Evans, the first of their 4. Can Olivia Banks secure a clear round for Great Britain with Giardina HS? Had a podium finish at the 1m40 Grand Prix here in Centaur back in August. But it's been a busy year of national and international sport for this pairing, picking up wins in Europe, including that, the home base in the United Kingdom, part of the junior team at the Nations Cup back in May in that Remprichthausen. And Great Britain picking up their best run in Zutphen. The Netherlands won there, in fact, back in June. But those final European standings see Germany at the top, Ireland second, Sweden third, and Ireland certainly in flying form here this morning. Currently lead the way in this junior qualifier. So with the 4 faults picked up, it means a best potential finishing score of 4 faults for Great Britain, but it is the top 6 teams that will be qualifying for the final on Sunday. So there's certainly an opportunity yet to head to that final. 76.82 their time. Puts them with that best finishing score of 4. Goes into 5th now, so the top 6 still remains. With the second rider for Spain, Juan Rivergil and Victoria D'Argent. 4 faults picked up by the first of their 4 riders. Certainly been a busy few weeks for this young man. Out jumping in the international class, had a nice run in the 3 start in Salejo. And earlier on in the year, part of the Nations Cup team in France. Puts in a good round there, but it is the 4 faults. Juan Rivergil and Victoria D'Argent. The best finishing score for Spain could be your 4 faults. But with 2 more combinations to go, will we see changes in that statistic? The last of rider number 2's to go as we look for Ireland. Stephen Gibbons and Cassius said not jumped all that much on the international circuit, so certainly wonderful to have them out at Centaur Park in this, the final instalment of the FEI Junior Nations Cup. Had some good runs though in Mullingar and Mill Street in Ireland in the international classes, and has certainly been in good form on the national circuit too, with some nice 130, 140 wins. 8 faults early on the course, but remember, it's those top 3 scores that count. 1 score is disregarded. This could be that score, as Cone Williams will be the last and the 4th to go for Ireland. Another to have the vertical down at that final fence does put 16 jumping faults on the card. Stephen Gibbons and Cassius Z, the third of 4 to come forward for Ireland.
So Switzerland with a 9 and an 8 faults in their previous
So it's Deborah Berger that comes forward next, has this one for Switzerland, Henze de Montats. Switzerland off to a slightly shaky start in this qualifier, with the first two riders picking up jumping faults and one on time as well. Lou Pudge finished with a total of 9, Margot Blanchard a total of 8. Deborah Berger clear so far. Clear of the water at number 7, the Ox at 8, left behind them now. And make the turn to the treble combination at 9 ABC. 77.48, and it is the first of the clear rounds for Switzerland, the third of their 4 riders coming forward. Nice performance in from them. Deborah Berger and Henzo de Montats could be having that best finishing score of 8. They've got another one still to come. To Czechoslovakia and Rosalie Petova, Queasy PJ, the partner she brings forward. Seeing the Czech Republic on 4 faults for now. Could this be the first of the clear rounds for them? We'll take a quick look at the team standings at the moment. The Netherlands with some good performances. They've got 2 clear rounds on the board as well. The USA in good form, so is Italy as well. But we will keep seeing changes all throughout the competition. We'll be certainly able to have a much better view of who'll be heading through to the final on Sunday as those final riders come forward. The 4 faults picked up there at fence number 5 puts the running total to 8 for now. Vertical at the last comes down as well. 12 faults for Rosalie Petova and Kizi PJ. Certainly okay in terms of the time allowed, 79 seconds. It was a little bit more influential at the start of the class, but the riders now coming forward, perhaps just carrying the pace that they should be carrying, 375 metres per minute with the track set at a distance of 490 metres. Mathieu Guéry and Tender Dream Hero Z forward now. The third rider for Belgium, a best finishing score of 4. That could be the case for Belgium with Paris van der Lucia picking up the 4 faults in this first round. I think quite possibly the first time we've seen an element down at that treble combination. It's the middle part, the vertical, that's down for Mathieu Guéry and Tender Dream Hero Z for Belgium. Stops the clock in 72.61, total of 8 penalties there here in the first round of the FEI Youth Nations Cup for the juniors. But from Belgium we go to Italy, and it's Cecilia Ferrari and Galina. Italy have been in a really good position in terms of the European final standings. finishing it in the top 10, had their best result over in the Czech Republic in Zurich back in April. Cecilia Ferrari and Galina, part of the Nations Cup team in Zurich back in August. So with the full faults on the card down, we come to the final fence, the vertical, and it goes as well, 73.60, and it is the total of 8 for jumping. Could see Italy finishing with a total team score of 8. They've got one more rider still to come forward as we look next to the Netherlands. 2 clear rounds already in for them. Can Wesley de Boer and Kafira make it 3 for 3? And that would almost certainly secure their place in the final on Sunday. Wesley, part of the European team for the juniors in Gorlamanore back in July, has been jumping on the Nations Cup team for Netherlands for a little while now. Kafira, the ride. He brings forward the grey mare, KWPN by Corland, Ard of Clearway. Just making the left-hand turn to the Oxer at 5. (76.23) and does indeed make it 3 clear rounds, as we said, almost certainly secures their place in the final on Sunday. My oh my, aren't the Netherlands really laying down the gauntlet here this morning? And in terms of their performance in those final European standings, they've had some great runs already, 2 podium finishes, that in Germany just some weeks ago, and also here in Centaur, the first of the European legs of the Nations Cup back in April. Glenn Morangi and Linn Arvidsson come forward now for Sweden. Jumping busily in the Grand Prix classes in Norway and Drammen. Another to be part of the European team in Gorlamanore. We're going to see a lot of similarities there. Some of the teams very much replicating the teams that were put forward at those junior Europeans in July. And it's certainly paying off for some teams, the Netherlands for sure. And Sweden on stage now. Both of their first 2 riders having picked up jumping faults. This could be the first of the clears though. Then Arvidsson, Glenn Morangi to the treble. (70.81) it is clear for Linn Arvidsson for Sweden.
That's great news for Team Sweden.
So it's 1 clear, 1 on 8, 1 on 4 means their best finishing potential score 4 faults for Sweden. Edith Thelen will be the last to go for them, but Germany come next. Their best finishing score could be 4. This the first of the final 2 for Germany. Bakel and Classic White. Classic White, the Holsteiner Grey Mare by Claremo out of San Patriano Cassini. And the partnership that are out winning the Nations Cup competition, not actually part of the Nations Cup team at Hagen. But it's not just Nations Cup classes that run here this week at Centre. Had a win in the Table A competition back in June. Emma Bakel and Classic White. Puts a clear round on the board for Germany. Does so in a time of 73.21. Germany's Emma Bakel on Classic White the second. In terms of the rankings at the moment, although quite early to tell, puts them in 8th. It's the top 6 that qualify for the final on Sunday. And it is the third rider for the United States of America. Up next, Elise Stevens and Omega H under DB. The individual bronze medalists in their first run at the North American Youth Championships. Those championships being held up in Williamsburg at Traverse City. In fact, that their first team and individual appearance for the United States of America. Now coming forward to jump in the first round of the Junior Nations Cup. United States of America with 1 clear and a 1 on 4 so far. Could they finish on a clear? If we remain with the 4 faults on the card, it could potentially drop them out of the top 6. They certainly won't want any more jumping penalties, and the time appears okay. They've got 10 seconds to get home. Elise Stevens, Omega H and DB would result in the United States of America running with a total of 4 penalties. The time, no, it does prove influential, 81.79. So it does put 3-time penalties with the time allowed set at 79 seconds in this first round. It's Netherlands at the moment going through alongside that of Ireland, Great Britain, Denmark, Spain and Sweden. And we come to the third rider for that of Denmark. A team that are running on 4 faults at the moment. Rosemary Hearing and Ambition Gold. Winning just recently out in the Table C Speed competition at Drammen back in June. They've been fairly steady away since then, with more runs out in Norway. Rosemary Hearing and Ambition Gold. Final part of the treble combination coming down as well. So it's 8 faults for now, with 2 fences still to jump for Denmark's Rosemary Herding and Ambition Gold. And 8 faults it is, 77.86 the time in for them, the time in for Denmark. So that's a best finish score potentially of 12. Ulrik Kjæra's team of Denmark. They've got another rider to come, but the third of 4 to jump for Great Britain. Phoebe Farman comes now here in the junior competition. Phoebe Farman and Iniesta, the 4th Nations Cup appearance for Great Britain this year. Picked up a top 10 finish in the Grand Prix at Liège back in April. And then returned back to the UK to put their stamp on the national circuit. Certainly a force to be reckoning with. And Great Britain, who were out winning the Netherlands as a team back in June. Quite uncharacteristic that for Iniesta. The 10-year-old KWPN beguiling by Torrent out of Gellers Vidiel. Emelon goes clear on the second attempt, 22 penalties in total, with a time of 88.51. Phoebe Farman and Iniesta. The third of 4 riders there for Great Britain means the best finishing score in the first round. It could be 8, and it's the last of rider number 3s now. Jacobo Palo Zauluki and Vandy Dubois-Diel for Spain. Then we'll be looking back to Ireland, the first of the final riders coming forward. So as we turn to that final line, it is the 4 jumping faults. Don't want to waste too much time. They're going to have to push on a little bit because the time allowed set at 79 seconds. And into time they go, 81.4 the final time. So they finish with a total penalty score of 6, the final rider for Spain. Ireland coming up next. We'll get a real good look now of the current standings with 3 of the 4 riders going forward. And that have come forward so far, the top 3 scores combined to make that overall team finishing score. Kane Williams and Conthaja, the 10-year-old mare by Conthagos out of Grand Step. We've seen 2 clear rounds from Ireland, 1 picking up 16. A clear round from Kane Williams would almost definitely secure their place in the final on Sunday. One of few teams to be in that clear round position at the moment. The Netherlands, the only other team that could be on their best finishing score of 0. Kane Williams for Ireland. Clear round it is for Ireland. Kane Williams and Conthaha. Great run in for them with a time of 73.59. It's the final rider then for Ireland, which sees them go clear. And there's only one other team that could finish on a clear as well. That's the Netherlands. We'll be coming to them in just a few minutes' time. Ireland, who were out winning here at Centaur back in April. They were also winning in Germany and of Italy as well back in April as well, the second of those Nations Cup Series legs. Well done indeed. Andrew van Balmuth and Dolce Vita Buffon on track now for Switzerland. Winning in the Nations Cup competition in Düsseldorf and Zurich just last month. Different ride that she brings forward now though. And then he brings forward for this first round competition the 10-year-old French bred by the name of Dolce Vita Buffon and Andrew van Balmuth. 72.84, and it is the 8 jumping fault sees that Switzerland finish with a total score of 16 in the first round here of the Junior FEI Nations Cup. Over we go next to a combination that were finishing in a really good position, had a podium finish in fact at the Two-Star Open, the launching Global Champions Tour of London just last month. Further back sees them competing on the European team as well for the Czech Republic. And it is Christina Witek and Duo Duru, the 10-year-old French-bred stallion by Vagabond de la Pomme out of Argentina. Susanna Casseret, the chef to keep for the Czech Republic. A best finish score of 8 potentially if Christina can go clear. .76.07 the time in there, and it is the 4 jumping faults. Joe Duru and Christina Witek for the Czech Republic. So, has them on their finish score of 12. And Belgium come next. They could also have a best finish score of 12 as well, with all combinations faulting in the first round. Louis Lamprecht Pinot van Arkertuk. This is the same pairing that were out jumping nice clear rounds here in Centaur back in June in the international classes. Busy run on the national circuit for this partnership as well, that have just picked up an additional 4 penalties at fence number 5. It's 8 on the card for now as they make that right-handed turn to the water at 7. Twelve faults it is, 78 the time for Louis Lambrecht for Belgium. Now, where does that put them in the list at the moment? Sees them finish with a final score of 22.229.95. The timing for them combined for the team, the best 3 scores counting, and it's the top 6 that qualify for the final here on Sunday, with the Challenge Cup and the Grand Prix still to come over the next few days. Italy's Davide Vitale forward now on Zodice, Italy, who could be finishing on a score of 8, providing Davide does go clear. So puts Italy to a score of 12. Judged clear at the water for faults for Davide Vitale. Zodice early on the course. A element coming down, but the B and C remain up and in the cups of the treble. The Aloga Auction vertical, it's clear there. So sees Italy potentially on 16. And 16 it is, 8 for jumping, 73.84. The individual score for Davide Vitale. So on this occasion, puts them out of the top 6. There are more to come forward though. There certainly is. Nick Nanning, the first of those. Bandia, his ride. The combination for the Netherlands. Bandia, the Holsteiner mare by Sinsman, the second out of Quintero. The Netherlands, who have jumped clear all the way so far. Could this be the 4th put on the board for the Netherlands? Nick Nanning, Bandia, clear round all the way. What a wonderful run it has been for the Netherlands. 74.65 sees them go clear. They'll be joining Ireland in the final on Sunday. So it's Ireland that lead, Netherlands second. Sweden have got another ride to come, and here they are now. It's Ida Selin and Indian Gold. Indian Gold, the 10-year-old KWPN gelding by Cassini Gold out of Germas Art. Henrik Lander hoping to lead Sweden into the final as the chef to keep a best finish score of 4, so the time could be a little bit influential now as well. They certainly don't want to waste any time around any of the 15 jumping efforts of the track. The first of the Nations Cup runs for Ida this year. They were also part of the European team for Sweden over in Italy back in July. Gola Minore, it's clear so far, could be finishing with a team score of 4. It's going to be a final score of 12 for Sweden, 75-84. The 4 faults put in, or the 8 faults in fact. Mida Thelin and Indian Gold. And we've got 5 to go. Germany, USA, Denmark, Great Britain, and it's Spain that'll round out the first round of the Youth Nations Cup for the juniors here in Belgium at Centaur Park. Naomi Hemmerich and Wiener van de Kostashov Z coming forward next for Germany. Could be finishing on 4. Just the one clear round that's been put forward for Germany so far this morning. But there's time yet to add to that. Will Naomi put a clear round up on the board? Comes to those orange railed verticals to complete, and it is the 4 faults in 76.97. Naomi Hamarlik and Vino van de Kosashov Z sees that team finish on a total of 8. So, to the United States of America, KK Mercedes the ride for Carly McCutcheon, who was part of the 2022 gold medal winning team at the Junior Jumper Prix des States in the US, picked up many accolades over the last few years in the jumper and equitation rings as well, including that of the leading rider title at the Hampton Classic. Carly McCutcheon, the final rider for the United States of America. We've got 3 to go. goes clear in a time of 76.11. Not clear, in fact, it's the 4 faults put in by that of Carly McCutcheon and Coco Mercedes for the United States of America. So shakes things up a little bit because the USA have just gone into 5th place. It's the top 6 that qualify. They'll be heading through to the Nations Cup final on Sunday. Spain join them in the top alongside Great Britain, Netherlands and Ireland, but some of those teams still have one to jump. Caroline Knudsen and landlist Callie Conn now on track for Denmark. Rides the 9-year-old chestnut mare by De Capo out of Coronado, the 3rd. Very neatly through the treble combination and the vertical at 10. Just softens the hands and allows that 9-year-old to travel round the corner. Comes to the last, Caroline Knudsen. Landless Callie Conn, 69 seconds exactly. They go clear and puts Denmark into 7th on a total of 12. The top 6 that qualify, so not quite able to make it into the final on this occasion. They will be coming forward, I'm sure, though, to the Challenge Cup on Saturday. All those teams not qualifying for the final will come to the Challenge Cup competition at jump-off class. But it is the penultimate now in the junior category of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth. It's Tabitha Kyle and Desley for Great Britain. Tabitha, who won gold at the Youth Nations Cup final last year for Great Britain, and to be fair, has won most of the UK major pony titles, but very much making a fabulous transition to horses, resulting in a lot of success. The 5th of her Nation Cup runs for Great Britain's this year, and has already had wins in France and the Netherlands. Great Britain, who currently sit on 8 penalties. It's a much needed clear round for them, and with 1 fence to go, can Tabitha Kyle do it with Destiny? Oh, there goes the last. It's the vertical down. She shakes her head. 75 for 89. And that puts Great Britain into 8th. It's a real shame because they're not quite able to put themselves into the final, as we look to, in fact, the final rider to go in this first round of the junior category of the Youth Nations Cup. Patricia Estes Camara, Dulcini Pratier for Spain. Spain, who could be finishing with a best final score of 8. They've got to go better than a final score of 12, with Denmark currently sitting in the final qualification spot. Will they be able to do enough? Will we see Spain in the final on Sunday? So now Patricia picking up for jumping penalties. This is where the time will really come in, because it's not just the jumping penalties that are combined to finish that team result, it's also time as well. And for those teams in 6th, in 7th, in 8th, 9th, they're all on 12 jumping penalties as a team, so it's the time that separates them. It's really quite influential. Might not seem it at the start of the class, but they finish with 8 jumping faults, 78-38, so it does put Spain out of contention on this occasion. And they go into 9th with their final score of 14. So, with that, the last to jump in the junior category, the first of the 3 Nations Cup classes that we bring you here in the Ashford Arena. We'll take a quick look at the team results. Ireland, the team for James Kernan, Owen Brennan, James Brennan, Stephen Gibbons, Kane Williams, they'll be coming back for the final. They'll be jumping alongside the Netherlands, the United States of America, Germany, Denmark and Sweden. Do make sure to have a look at all the official scores online. You can find those via the Centre Park website. You can also find them on online.akeep.com. There's plenty more still to come here on the first of 4 days of competition out at Centre Park. In fact, let's take a look at what comes next. It is the Junior Nations Cup individual competition. They'll be jumping the same course from Great Britain's Rafael Suarez. Preparations being made in the arena, maintenance being carried out, but it will be the ponies that come next. 7 in fact. I'll be telling you about the qualification opportunities for them, because all of those will be returning for the fun. They'll be carrying their faults as well, because there's less than 8 starters in the opening round. So the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth for the ponies, the height of 1.25 m, they'll be getting underway at around 11:10 here in Belgium this morning. So do make sure to join us for that. Thank you very much for joining us here. We'll be back in just a little while.
it's time for the CSIOJ Nations Cup individual against the clock, 1 metre 40, same course at same time allowed at 79 seconds. 37 participants coming forward, and Jeff Peters, the home nation, gets us underway. Jador van Hedschek is the ride, it's by Vagabond de la Pomme, representing Belgium. Jeff Peters.
Does anybody know how long till World War III? Sally called when she got the word. She said, I suppose you've heard about Alice. Well, I rushed to the window and I looked outside, but I could hardly believe my eyes. Some big limousine rolled up into Alice's drive. Oh, I don't know why she's leaving or where she's gonna go. I guess she's got her reasons, but I just don't wanna know. 'Cause for 24 years I've been living next door to Alice. 24 years just waiting for a chance to tell her how I feel and maybe get a second glance. Now I gotta get used to not living next door to Alice. We grew up together, two kids in the park, carved our initials deep in the bark. Me and Alice. Now she walks through the door with her head held high. Just for a moment, I caught her eye as the big limousine pulled slowly out of Alice's drive.
Offense 11 goes there for just the 4 faults for it is 75.9. Stevie Lehman's next to come forward for the Netherlands. Gemma Vivi Rilu said it's a Zangasai stallion by the great Gemini. Rider on winning ways in the competitions of Falcons Bard at the end of July, Netherlands.
Tell her how I feel and maybe get a second glance. Now I gotta get used to not living next door to Alice. Then Sally called back and asked how I felt, and she said I know how to help. Get over Alice. She said now Alice is gone, but I'm still here. You know I've been waiting 24 years. And the big limousine disappeared. I don't know why she's leaving or where she's gonna go. I guess she's got her reasons, but I just don't wanna know. 'Cause for 24 years I've been living next door to Alice. 24 years just waiting for a chance to tell her how I feel and maybe get a second glance. But I'll never get used to not living next door to Alice. No, I'll never get used to not living next door to Alice. I did my platform of surrender.
Nicely done, Stevie Lemons goes clear, 74.63, and obviously it leads the way. The very early stage is pre-Carol Cox, 140 individual. Victor Stukecki next to come forward, representing Czech Republic with G Star.
Cut the cord.
So we have that one clear now. See what Victor can do. Well, on winning ways at the under 25 meeting in Hagen, Germany back in July.
My hands are cold, and I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human?
turn, winning that junior small tour, the Steffens Masters in Brussels a couple of weekends ago. Rosetta van der Kulshagen is the ride. It's by Toulon, Element Darko Mare, Belgium. Nicely done from Rick, 77.59 into second place. That goes. Switzerland next to come forward. Margot Blanchard. Botemann-P is the name of the Cador side gelding, the 11-year-old Switzerland. Elimination sadly for Margot. Max Pasco's next to jump for Germany, Captain Jack at 49. 14 earlier was the ride-up, Germany. class of Balkansbad a few weeks ago for the rider, Belgium.
See the stone set in your eyes, see the thorn twist in your side. I'll wait for you. Sleight of hand and twist of fate, on a bed of nails she makes me wait, and I wait without you, with or without you, with or without you.
Belgium being one for time till the 13 there for Jonas van Dijk. Cameretta is Cornet Obolensky, Diamond Desami bloodlines for this mare. It's only an 8-year-old. It's representing Sweden with Ebba Danielsson riding. Did go well in the medium tours at Kronenberg last weekend. Good performances also in those young horse classes at the Stefex Masters. Ebba Danielsson, Cameretta.
And in a
touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Into third, that goes for Sweden. Swedish riders on top form here. Three of them gone clear. Into third, it goes Liam. Larry Catelier is next to come forward. Jägermaster for Belgium. The current time to beat, 73.44. This pre-Carol Cox individual jumping.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside
74-21 and home on the 4 there for that. Lewis Salmon next to come forward. Pure Joy 3 for Finland. My Perigo is in there. It's Hanoverian registered.
the more you refuse to hear my voice,
Top 8 finish to the one-star from
louder I will sing.
last weekend.
You hide behind walls of Jericho. Your lies will come tumbling. Deny my place and time. You squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so brightly it will blind you. 'Cause there's something inside so strong, so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough. When we know better, just look 'em in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. Gonna do it anyway. Something inside so strong. And I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.
12 jumping, 14 for time, adds up to 26 there for PT and Funnison next to go. Rocco Castanou is the Belgian representation here. Some very good finishes, several top 10 finishes at the junior two-star meetings of Valkenswaard over recent weeks.
Brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough.
tours with double clears at Stefex Masters for horse and rider. Rider going well with other horses in that tour also. Belgium. Home on the floor there for Jules, 77.77. Team of Vars next to come forward, going well in the teams. The Netherlands earlier. This is Felix H, the Dutch one led by Astika BBL. The total 77.19 there for Team and Voss. Hannah Brauer next to come forward for Germany. Coraline is the ride. Top 9 finish in the Junior Grand Prix at Balkensbad back in August. Next to go, Germany. Casilla. Michael Ashley-Bissemi is at the mat. Top 10 conditions in the course down for the rider at Deauville recently for the front. 6-9. Victor Plecker is next to come forward for Belgium. Corvette van Koningshof Z on winning ways of this horse in the Junior Big Tour of Brussels at Step X Masters. Belgium. Patricia Astiz Camara is the next to come forward. Richie Z for Spain.
Taught me to be brave. No matter where I go, I'll never find a better prize.
82.15 gives us full-time penalties added to the 12, jumping there for Patricia. So Fanny Freedom still leads the way for Sweden. Netherlands still in second, Sweden third, Spain fourth, Sweden five, with the home nation six. They're all the clears so far. There's about six more to come forward. Louis Raphael Santi is next to come forward for France with Sancho. That time to beat 73.44. Home on the 12, 78.31 there for Louis.
You've done it all. You've broken every code. Paul the rebel.
The women's chess tack goes now for Poland. Secret Weapon L is the Dutch woman at Gelding, fed by the Verhagen team. Poland Secret Weapon.
The only metal. What a ball. Blue eyes, blue eyes. How can you tell so many lies? Come up and see me, make me smile. I'll do what you want.
Switzerland now. We push by People Horse Ama Lagoon. Self-Fronte by Lando. 73.44 still leads the way for Sweden.
There ain't no more. You've taken everything from my belief in Mother Earth. Can you ignore my faith in everything? 'Cause I know what faith is and what it's worth. Away, away. And don't say maybe you'll try to come up and see me, to make me smile. Do what you want, just run on wild.
7.78 and 4 there for Rouge. 3 to go, Czech Republic, Netherlands, but first the home nation, Jeff Peters, Alina van der Reutershoff, by Jensen van Mühlenhoff is the mare, it's a 9-year-old.
Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. In 77 and 69, revolution was in the air. I was born too late into a world that doesn't care. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. When the head of state didn't play guitar, not everybody drove a car. When music really mattered and when radio was king. When accountants didn't have control and the media couldn't buy your soul. When computers were still scary and we didn't know everything. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. In 77 and 69, revolution was in the air. I was born too late into a world that doesn't care. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. When pop
8
stars
jumping
still
one
believed
for
in
time
myth
to
and
9 there
ignorance
for
could
Jeff
still be
Peters.
bliss.
7
When
to
God
9
saved the queen, she
Stephen Lehman's
turned
next to
white
come
as shade
forward
of
with
pale.
the second
My
rides.
mom
It's
and
in
dad were
second
in their
place with
teens
the first
and
horse,
anarchy was
74.6
still a
Green
dream,
Clear.
and the only way to
Seems
stay
to go
in
one
touch
place
was
high
a
with this
letter
one.
in the mail. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. In 77 and 69, revolution was in the air. I was born too late into a world that doesn't care. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. When record shops were still on top and vinyl was all that they stopped, and the super info highway was still drifting out in space. Kids were wearing
go. Victor Skutecki, the Czech Republic. Dina Kanti is the ride. Mandarev is the side of the mare. 73.44 to beat. Comes home on the 12, 75.15. So it's Fanny Freedom for Sweden that takes victory in the individuals for the juniors at 1 metre 40 with Unbreakable at 73.44. Taking the second place, well, that goes to the Netherlands, Stevie Leemans. Liam Nielsen takes third for Sweden, also with a clear. Spain's Olivia Tapias Fernandez in fourth. Eva Danielson, fifth place to Sweden. And the sixth place in the sixth clear round, Rick Norter for the home nation of Belgium. Congratulations to all going clear. We will bring you the presentation of awards in literally just a few moments.